Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. So I'll just do a brief company overview, um, just so if this is your first time hearing about GE Appliances, we'll just go through a quick history of our organization so you all can get familiar. And then we'll get into the fun part, which that is why you guys are here, so you can hear from our wonderful panelists. So, as you all know, GE Appliances has been around for more than 100 years. And in 2016, we became a part of Haier, which is actually the world's largest appliance brand. So, with us joining Haier, our potential was unleashed, empowering our business to thrive alongside a company that shares our passion for quality and innovation. And in just 5 years, we've evolved from doing things the GE way to doing it the GEA way, creating a culture and a mindset that's truly unique to us. And now we're on track to be one of the fastest growing manufacturing companies in the US and on our way to becoming the #1 appliance company in America. So here's a quick glance of our business. At GE Appliances, we employ more than 14,000 employees globally, with the vast majority being in the US. Today, our appliances are in half of all US homes, and our goal is to serve every family in the country. We contribute to local economies across 46 states, and beyond North America, we are a global leader through our parent company, Haier. So Haier is the #1 appliance company in China and is sold in more than 100 countries and regions worldwide. And Haier has grown throughout the world through acquisitions and organic growth. And in addition to GE Appliances in the US, they have also acquired Fisher and Paykel in the Australian and New Zealand markets. As the demand for appliances increased during the pandemic, so did our production. To meet this growing demand, we increased our output at 9 US manufacturing plants and are now building more than 2,500 appliances an hour. Throughout our robust nationwide delivery network, we're able to deliver an appliance every 4.5 seconds to more than 90% of US homes in one day. Sustainability is one of our top priorities. In addition to recycling 30 million pounds of cardboard, wood, plastic annually, 80% of our product packaging can now be recycled. So we're proud to call Louisville, Kentucky our home. That is where the GE Appliances headquarters is located. So let me tell you a quick story of how we got here. So this goes back to the 1950s when housing and manufacturing markets experienced tremendous growth during the post-World War II boom. This is when GE decided to consolidate operations into a new location. With its central location to the US, consumers and excellent infrastructure distribution capabilities, Louisville ended up being the perfect place for GE to hang its hat. So this property is about 750 acres of land, and it was established in 1951. And Louisville is where most of our technology and manufacturing engineers are located. We employ over 1,150 design and manufacturing engineers here. And Louisville is also home to more than 80 advanced development labs, including sound labs, water labs, electronic labs, and more. Our headquarters is Kentucky's very own R&D hub, and this is the largest manufacturing site of GE Appliances, which features 5 different facilities. Appliance Park is a city within a city, and it even has its own zip code. That's how large our site is at GE Appliances. In 2018, we made a strategic move from a branded house to a house of brands, giving Monogram, GE Cafe, GE Profile, GE, Haier, and Hotpoint their own identities among the owner segments they were created to serve. So here's our micro enterprises. In 2017, we adopted a new consumer focused operational strategy powered by micro enterprises. So the micro enterprises in our businesses resembles a startup where our employees are empowered to make their own decisions among other innovators, partners, and users to basically resemble like each micro enterprise having a startup company. As part of our zero distance philosophy, these entrepreneur enterprises enable GEA to grow closer to our customers and owners and to be more responsive to the evolving needs of our consumers. While each micro enterprise is its own separate entity, they all share the same supply chain and platforms, which acts as connectors. Micro enterprises are free to adapt and evolve on their own, but also benefit from cross-unit coordination and resources within GEA. GE Appliances has been developing smart appliances for over a decade. We were the first manufacturer to develop a full suite of connected appliances and the first manufacturer to integrate all of its smart appliances with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. In production today, we have over 650 models with built-in Wi-Fi. And since we started building connectable appliances, we have delivered nearly 30 million smart appliances to the market. So here's just a testament of our culture at GE Appliances. We come together. This is truly the heart of our story. Now, nothing we invent, make, or do would be possible if we did not come together. 2020 challenged us to take a look at who we are, what we stand for, and how we can drive lasting change in the communities we call home. From navigating a global pandemic to being part of a social justice movement, 2020 brought us together when it mattered most. So here's our COVID-19 response. So we banded together in our local communities. We donated appliances. We developed and donated PPE and other essential items to our nation's heroes. We led initiatives and formed partnerships aimed at building stronger and healthier communities. And we also teamed up with United Way Worldwide to create GEA for Heroes, a program that enabled us to donate a significant portion of our U.S. appliance production to first responders and healthcare workers. So we're just getting started. As we look forward to the future, we've got ambitious goals. We're committed to becoming the leading appliance company in the U.S., and we're well on our way. And now, here's the part you all have been waiting for. We will get into our panelist speakers. And let me tell you who is speaking first tonight. That would be Perry. So Perry is a part of our Edison Engineering Development Program. So he'll give you guys a brief description of what his life is like in that program.
Hello, my name is Perry, as you may know. I'm part of the Edison Program. It's shortened to EEDP. So how I joined this organization was I had co-opted here for, I think, 3 rotations during my undergrad, and then I graduated and I was called back to interview for an Edison position, which was very exciting. They called me back, asked me a bunch of questions. I met some other people, and then they gave me a call, and here I am. So what I currently do as an Edison, well, let's start. So the Edison program is a 3-year program with where you rotate every 6 months to different aspects of the organization. For example, my first rotation was in dishwasher. I spent 6 months working on dishwashers, and then the next one I spent 6 months working on pack projects like packaging. Uh, Currently, I'm in laundry doing COQ and MACDO, which is just um, streamlining the products we have and getting the cost out, and also improving what we have. I'd say the benefits of this program is that it lets me see all the different aspects of the business. And coming out of college, I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So this program is really useful because I get to try out a bunch of different things, and at the end, I have a better idea of what I want to do. So currently, I'm in my 5th rotation, so I'm pretty far in.
Harry, quick question. How
Mhm.
do you see your, since you're been in the program for a while, how do you see that shaping your future for a career with GE Appliances?
So I think since I was able to see all the different, well, 5 so far different aspects of the business, there were actually 5 very different aspects of the business. I also worked in like um, running simulations. It gives me a deeper understanding of how to work with other members of the team, because every project, every program that I'm on is highly cross-functional, and just having experience on how, like, say, changing how long a bolt is on like a dryer door. It has to go through all of this evaluation, whether it be performance, ship testing. I know all about that because of my time in PAC, and just having all that knowledge, I guess, in my back pocket is going to be greatly beneficial when I roll off into a more permanent position.
That's great. I'm glad you were able to gain a lot of experience doing your
Yes.
engineering development program. Thank you for sharing. And we'll also, if I know there's a lot of engineers on the call tonight, so Perry will definitely be around to answer any questions that you all may have. So next we'll go into, we have actually 2 panelists speaking at the same time tonight. So we have Kristen and Jordan from our supply chain development program. So I'll let you ladies go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Kristen.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're both members of the supply chain development program. We both started back in January of 2020. So right now we both are on our 4th rotation. And I'm just going to do a quick overview of what the supply chain development program is, and we'll go from there. So really what the program is, it's a 2-year entry-level development program that is 4 rotations. Each rotation is 6 months long, so it's a total of 2 years. And those rotations include technical training, operations management, supply chain management, and as always, the focus on health and environmental and health and safety. The program is really designed for us to learn by doing, because we do jobs for 6 months and then we pick up and leave and we go do another job for 6 months. So it's really there to show us, the daily struggles and successes of so many different parts of the company. Mm-hmm. So that way, we have a very good understanding of what it takes to make a dishwasher or a refrigerator. And then one thing that I know Jordan and I both love about this program is that we get 4 years of experience in 2 years, because we have 4 different rotations. So we really do learn very deep, we do a very deep dive into what it is to do that job. Mm-hmm. So yeah, within the 2 years, we're off and ready to go, and we have been able to see a very wide variety of jobs and know how it all interacts together. Mm-hmm. And then another great thing about the program is, one of the big things management likes to do is they like to stress that SCDPs are the future leaders of supply chain. They want us to learn, to grow, to be future leaders.
Yeah, awesome. So within the supply chain development program, there's kind of 3 categories that our jobs fall under, our rotations. There's a technical category, the supply chain management category, and then a supervisory category. So within that technical category are things like advanced manufacturing engineers. That's actually the current role that Kristen is in. So they purchase and install equipment that on assembly lines, so to create the products. There's quality, and that's anything from your supplier quality, which is the quality of the parts, to the quality of the final product. And then there's lean, which is just increasing the efficiency of the creation of products. Then under the supply chain management umbrella is things like sourcing. So that's buying, purchasing parts and resources to make products. Distribution, which is taking final products and making sure that they reach homes efficiently. Materials, which they order parts based on demand. So that's that supply chain management umbrella. And then there's a supervisory role, which is your area business leader. That's the shop operations. The area lead business leader manages the people and processes of assembly lines or support areas. And we'll dive a little more into that in our personal experiences. So I started with GEA in 2016 when we first were bought by Hire. It was a super interesting time. I did 3 co-op rotations. I fell in love with the company in my first co-op rotation. I loved the culture. I thought it was great. I really liked that. I felt like I really didn't know that much going into it. I was really young. I was nervous. I was the youngest person on my team, and I was like, I don't know anything. And they were really supportive. I could ask any of my team members anything, and they would help me with projects. And I felt like I got projects that were actually really valuable. I was saving company like significant amounts of money. I loved it. And that's how every co-op is at GE, and every one of our rotations now as supply chain development members. We started as CDP in 2020 January. That's because we graduated in December of 2019, and we applied for the program the summer before our graduation. So now I'll dive into my roles on the supply chain development program. So my first role was as a process improvement engineer in our Decatur, Alabama satellite plant. That's something kind of interesting about our programs, is like we get to get experience at satellite plants outside of Louisville. So I worked on the door line of our top freezer refrigerators when they had a brand new launch. It was a really interesting time. And it also was during the time that COVID started. So I was on a team of people that was in charge of separating jobs and making sure all the jobs were 6 feet apart and that there were plexiglass panels between jobs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something that GE did a really good job with getting on top of. COVID, when it first started, we kind of set the tone as a company for surrounding companies. We acted as kind of an example, which was really cool to be a part of. My second rotation, I was a business continuity planner, which is asset crisis planning, super cross-functional role, really awesome work. I really enjoyed it. My third, I was an area business leader in our dishwasher plant. I managed 40 people and worked on the high-end dishwashers, which is a tricky product. And then my current rotation as an area distribution center project manager. So we're increasing our product flow into our area distribution centers. And so I'm working on projects that are improving that process. So yeah, I'm enjoying my time. Current positions that I've gotten because of this program are I'm on the onboarding committee for the supply chain development program, and I am on the planning committee for our Women in Operations Affinity Network. So that's me.
And then I'll do a quick summary of what I did. Like Jordan, I also started as a co-op. I started in 2017, and I did do 3 co-op rotations as well. I also did 1 outside of the company, but I just loved the culture here a lot more than at that other company. So I came back. I interviewed for SCDP again the summer before graduation, and I got an offer. So we started in 2020. My first rotation was also at a satellite plant. I worked at our satellite plant in Selmer, Tennessee, which is our Monogram plant, which they do all of our super high-end refrigerators, like the ones that cost $10,000 or more, and also all of our retail or high-end air conditioning units, like the ones you see in hotels. There, I was a manufacturing engineer. So what I did was I helped the implementation of a new production line, helping get the parts set up, making sure they were going where they need to go. And also I helped make sure all of our equipment was running well and how can we make it run better. My next rotation, I was in Jeffersonville, Indiana at our service parts warehouse. And I was a process improvement engineer there. And my job was to improve how service parts got from our warehouse to the customer, because there's nothing worse than a customer needing a part to fix their refrigerator or dishwasher. Nothing worse than that. So yeah, my job was to make it more efficient. So our lead time went down from X amount of days to you get it next day. And then my third rotation was also as an area business leader. I was in AP3, which is our dishwasher plant. And unlike Jordan, I worked in support ops instead of production. And what I did was I made all of the racks that go to all of our dishwashers. And I managed 70 to 80 people. Yeah, and I supported 4 production lines. And right now I am an advanced manufacturing engineer in AP5 in our refrigeration plant. I work mostly in plastic, so I work on how can we make more plastic inner doors so we can increase our capacity. What does that mean? Do we need to buy new equipment? Do we need to buy new molds? And if so, what? So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing now. Current positions I'm holding is I'm a member of our volunteering and alumni committee. And I'm also a member of the Women in Manufacturing. And then my favorite thing about working at GE Appliances is definitely the opportunity for growth and movement. Because just here in Appliance Park, we have 5 buildings, and we also have 5 satellite plants, all in southern US. So it's just like great opportunity to learn and grow. And like definitely the culture of GE is learning and growing and just never stop learning, really. So yeah, that's a little bit about SCDP.
Great insights. I really appreciate it. And Kristen, if you don't mind sharing really quickly, when you were an area business leader, how did that make you feel being so young and managing up to 70 people?
It actually was my 3rd time being a supervisor. So I had done it before, but the previous times I'd done it, I was in production. So it's my first time doing support operations. It's stressful, but you're not alone. Like it wasn't like I was in charge of all these people by myself. Like I had my manager there to help. They were there to like guide me, and like if I had any questions, they were right there. But support operations was just a completely different animal, because it's not just the people you have to worry about, it's production. Like, am I shutting down production? Like, do they have the parts that they need? And if not, what do I have to do to get them now? Yeah, it was insane, because actually I supplied Jordan with her racks, and that was a lot of fun.
But there's a lot of respect for young leaders. I've noticed
definitely.
They really want to. There's a lot of grace and a lot of respect.
Yeah, there's definitely the understanding of like, hey, we're new to the job, and we don't necessarily know what we're doing, but we will learn quickly.
Yeah.
So
That's great. Thank you for sharing, and thank you both. So next we'll turn it over to Natalie, who's in our finance development program, and she'll share a little bit about her journey.
Hi, everyone. Like BB said, my name's Natalie. I'm in the finance development program here at GEA. And the way I kind of learned about the program is through actually a friend who was a finance intern here at GEA. She worked as a year-round finance intern, and she kind of heard about the program, told me about the program, and that's the way I kind of learned about, what it was, how you get into the program. And so from there, I actually applied to an internship at GEA. It's called the Finance Development Program Internship, and it's a summer internship at 12 weeks. And that is for the summer before your senior year. So basically what the internship is you apply. They have around, I think they take around 10 people to be doing the internship. And then from there on, basically, I mean, you go to the internship, you do the internship, you do projects, you present this big project at the end of your internship. And it's basically you present it to a bunch of executives, top executives, CFO. So it's a pretty big project that you're doing. And from there, you can apply to the actual finance development program, which is what I'm in now. And you do, I think we did around 3 or 4 interviews to get into the program with a bunch of the finance managers across the business. So basically from there, once you get into the program, they take 4 people from each class. And so in the finance development program, there's 12 total programmees, and basically 3 years. Each year you have, the first 2 years, are 6-month rotations. So and then the third year you have 1 year long rotation. And then the second and third year, you get your MBA at IU Kelley School of Business, which is a super, super great perk of the program. And it's something that really helps with boosting your career as you go along with GEA, or as you go along with your career. So that was a big plus of the program. And then, so basically what I do, I'm actually only in my first rotation of the program. So I'm only 2.5 months into the program, really. And my first rotation is in controllership. So I'm doing a lot of projects, a lot of different projects, just doing deep dives into the business, different parts of finance, into distribution, sourcing, FP&A, and I'm doing a bunch of just deep dives into different processes that we could make better, and create different automated processes to make things go faster, or just trying to improve different ways that we're doing things. So that's kind of a lot of what I do in controllership. And then another big part of my job is doing the reporting for hire. So we send X amount of reports to hire for close at the end of the month, at the end of the year. And that's kind of a big part of my job as well. And then there's obviously a lot of different other departments in finance, like FP&A, sourcing, distribution, pricing. And so as I go on to the next rotations, those are some of the ones that I could be going into. But definitely big benefits to the program. MBA is one, like I said before, is one big part of it. And then just, getting the different exposure to all the different departments in finance. You don't really get that at an entry level job that you're just going to. That's just like a regular entry level job. With these development programs, you get so much exposure to different parts of the business, and that can really propel your career forward from once you get off program. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natalie. We definitely appreciate it. So next we have Bradley, who is a part of our commercial development rotation program. So Bradley, take it away.
Hi, everyone. My allergies are so bad right now, and so please excuse the sniffles. But I am Bradley. I graduated from Purdue and majored in political science and African American studies and communication. And I found out about GE Appliances through LinkedIn, actually. They won an award. I followed GE Appliances because we had them in our home growing up. And they won an award. So I kind of looked into the award and saw that it was pretty cool. So then I went, to the website to see if they were hiring and found the CDP program and absolutely loved it. So I interviewed in March, my last year of college, and accepted my position in April, and then started in August 2019. So in the CDP program, you spend 2 years in each of our 2 channels of sales. So I spent my first year in contract sales, and then I spent my second year in retail sales. You could do it vice versa. And during that time, your salary, and then you also get a commission, and like you'll be living in Louisville for that. So when I was in contract, I covered the South Central Territory. I had all of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas, and was billing about $7 million a quarter. In contract, you work with like 1C and 1M accounts is what they're called. 1C accounts are property management. And that's like talking to property managers at apartment complexes ordering like one-off. So they'll reach out and be like, unit 115 needs a new microwave, and you get it sent over and it's pretty quick. But 1M accounts are rehab accounts or like renovations. So that's like bidding on properties, putting together pricing packages and, kitchen packages and until you win the business. And then once you win that business, you kind of oversee the project. So you make sure that they're getting their appliances on time and creating a schedule. During my time in contract, I got to go to IBIZ KBIZ, which is the biggest kitchen and bath show in the nation. So it was a week in Vegas, and GEA actually had the biggest booth, and we won Best in Show. And it was really cool because all of us, all of the CDPs who went got to work the floor, just like everybody else. I was right next to the VP of laundry pitching our new Ultra Fresh front load. So it was super cool and a great learning experience. So I spent my second year in retail, actually my last day in this rotation is Friday. And I've been working in the Southwest Territory, covering specifically the San Francisco area, billing about $3 million a quarter. And when you're in your retail rotation, you're serving BG&Is, which stand for buying groups and independents. So basically buying groups are like small businesses that kind of buy into these groups for more buying power. So they have more access to promotions and benefits versus like a Home Depot that, spends a ton of money with us. It just makes them a little bit bigger. And then independents are just like standalone businesses that aren't, in these BG&Is. So in retail, you're going to be working with dealers to sell your appliances to their customers. And then you work on their floor displays and, work with them to get appliances and homes for closing and growth plans on how to grow their businesses. We're growing our business. And so in my time in retail, I got to go to 2 trade shows for the 2 buying groups. They were both in Nashville, about 3 days. And that was super cool. We worked the order placement desk and got to meet and interact with customers. And GEA also at our nationwide show sponsored a little big town concert at the Grand Ole Opry. So that was super cool. And then your third rotation is your bubble project. So it's about 3 months. I'll start on Monday, and you stay in there for 3 to 6 months. After your third month, you can apply for your field position. So that's the last, upon graduating from the CDP program, you become a field rep. So during that time, they increase your pay, but you're not getting commission anymore, and you're still in Louisville, but you're working under leadership. So you could be on the Home Depot team or the buying groups team or, the Lowe's team. I was just assigned contract marketing. So I will be, working on our KBIZ booth, which I'm super excited about. And right now we're kicking off renegotiations for next year. So I'll be working on that as well. So then, as I said, after 3 months, you can apply to your field assignment, and it's really based on whatever's open, but you sign your CDP contract knowing that you could move anywhere in the country. But GE does pay for your relocation, and as a field rep, you get a company car. So with that, your salary increases and your commission cap increases. Recently, past CDPs have gone to Austin, Houston, Phoenix, Tampa, Seattle. Some of my CDP friends just interviewed for Nashville on Monday. So looking forward to see where they're going. I'm really praying for Atlanta. And so basically, in conclusion, CDP is just an excellent entry into sales. I mean, I talk to my parents all the time and friends, and I just don't know who else at 20 years old is billing $7 million a quarter. You really get the opportunity to run your territory. It's all on you, but at the same time, like, they're not the biggest accounts that we have. So if you do something wrong, you're not like severely damaging the company. So it's just a great way to learn. And then in Bubble, you're getting to see other sides of the commercial business, because commercial isn't just sales. There's marketing and other things you can be doing. So great exposure, one of a kind program, and love to see you guys in it.
Wow, that's so awesome, Bradley. Thank you for sharing. It sounds like a very exciting experience that you have. So next,
CDP is the best. I love it.
That's awesome. So last but not least, we have Dalton, who will be sharing his experience in the digital technology development program, which is like our information technology department. So Dalton, go ahead, take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you. So my name is Dalton, and I am in the Digital Leadership Development Program, DLDP, which is under the DT function, which is digital technology. And I'm in my third rotation as a DLDP. I began in July of 2020, so right during COVID, fun times. And as some of the other programs, we have a 2-year rotation program. So we do every 6 months, you rotate, get a total of 4 rotations in. And as a DLDP, our rotations consist of technical rotations and project management rotations. And so for me, my skills fall more on the project management side. But the great thing about the program is that you go into different kind of scenarios, as in like going into a technical rotation, which is in my comfort zone, because it helps build up those skills. Those skills are going to help you wherever you land off rotation. And so, like Bradley, I did not intern or co-op here, but I found my way to GEA through LinkedIn. So as a senior at IU, I studied informatics, and in the fall time of my senior year, I was looking for a development program, because as a senior in college, you don't know exactly what you want to do. So these development programs are great in giving you exposure to different areas in different rotations. And so applied through LinkedIn. At that time, it was IT DP. We've recently gone through a name change to DLDP. And that was a 2-step interview process. The first one was a phone interview. And then this is pre-COVID, so I went down to Appliance Park and interviewed with all of the DT staff. So that was about a 4-hour interview process, hopping around between all the staff level members. And then, like I said, I began in July of 2020 and moved down here to Louisville, which is where I currently live and work at. So I'm currently working in the DT fulfillment team as a project manager. So this is a project manager rotation, and I'm currently rotating off of a technical rotation, which I worked on our smart home solutions team for our cloud infrastructure and our smart appliances. And so my average workload as a DLDP, the way ours falls is that about 60% of your capacity goes towards your main project. And then past that, we also do IU courses. So we do through the Kellogg School of Business, we do a grad certificate. So that is 3 courses that goes through business analytics, IT, and other business areas to kind of round out our skill set. And then we also have committees. So I work as the lead for the professional development committee, in which I partner with high schools around the Louisville area. And we go out and interact and host sessions with those high schoolers, show them about GEA, technology, how they can become involved and get opportunities here at GEA. And then with that, we also host roundtables, which is where we have executive level and senior level members in DT come and speak to our interns and DLDPs and kind of give us an opportunity to pick their brain on questions we have or get their experiences on where they are now. And then we also work on certifications. Last rotation, I got certified AWS. So really emphasis on just continuing to develop and build your skill set. So through the IU courses, through the rotations, the certifications, you're continuously working and building up that skill. And then in your third and fourth rotation, I'm in the latter half of my third. we do a capstone project. So I've not yet begun the capstone project, but it is in the works now of where your last 2 rotations, you and everyone in your class, so you work on a capstone project together, and then at the end of your you report that out to the entire DT team. And so that capstone project typically is involved around going out into the business or DT and finding an issue or a problem that you can solve, and you come and you build a scope yourself and then lead that project forward. And so the highlights, what I really love about being in the program at GEA, like I said earlier, is just development opportunities. Doing a program in 2 years of 4 rotation really accelerates your learning with the company. I think it was mentioned earlier, you get like 4 years of time in a 2-year crunch right there. So it's really fun going through and developing in real jobs and on the job working. It's not, it's different in college. In college, you're going through courses and you're trying to apply these things, but then you get in a development program and you actually get hands-on and know how to apply them and build those that skill set there. And then also the culture here at GEA has been great. With the development program, all of the alumni and people who rotated off stay very active with current DLDPs. So interacting with them, getting their perspective on how their rotations went, rotating off, and just enjoy hanging out with them even outside of work. So it's always been fun. And then we also have, with the DLDP program, we have mentors. So when you come into the program, you get assigned a staff level mentor, in which once a month you meet with them, you kind of go through what you're working on, any ideas you have, questions you have, struggles you have. We all have struggles, so it's nice to have that support system there. And yes, overall, it's in my 3rd rotation, it's been a great start so far, and it's been exciting.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing, Dalton. Well, everyone, I've enjoyed learning about all the development programs at GE Appliances, and I hope you did too. So now we're going to look in the audience and take a couple of questions. And I know a lot of you have submitted questions as well, but we're going to go ahead and start with a live question. So it looks like Justin Andrews has raised his hand first. Max, if you want to turn on his mic, and Justin, if you want, you can feel free to turn on your camera.
Awesome, thank you. So as a technical designer, I'm studying graphic design at Queens College. So I'm doing a degree that might have the potential to go into different areas of the design kind of field in the capacity of being a product designer or a advertisement marketer. And so I know that like GE has products that is very skill-based as far as being very flexible with your automated kind of technical skills. And I know that like when you're doing your various positions and learning about the industry, you're doing it within the context of growth and the context of understanding how your work relates to other departments. And so how do you really kind of marry your personal interests with interests on the company at large? And how do you really understand the company from a really fundamental perspective? And how has that helped you in improving your technical skills?
Did you all understand the question? So it's kind of like you're asking, how do you balance your personal interests with the development programs that they're a part of?
And
Is
how
that
did
your
that,
question?
yeah, and how did those interests that you're developing kind of add to the kind of functions and everyday operations of the company? And how did that kind of grow your perspective and understanding of said industry or of said department?
Okay.
I think they got it.
Yeah. So I don't think I said this before, but my background is in mechanical engineering.
Nice.
So I have my degree in from the University of Toledo. So I like working on equipment. I like working with pieces of machinery. I like being hands-on. So for me, it was finding the job that fit that. And for me, it's AME. So I work with equipment on a daily basis. It's what I love to do. So if I'm answering your question correctly, that's how I kind of found my niche, or like what I love to do in the company. And then I'm using that to kind of just for me in supply chain, at least, every building has its own different equipment. Like when I worked in support ops in AP3, you know, the equipment that makes wire racks is 100% different than what I'm doing now, which is in plastics and thermoforming. So it's very, very different. And I just use that to kind of propel like my love for learning, and just use that to kind of just like learn about different areas of the company. Does that answer your question?
It does. I guess to clarify, I wanted to just kind of understand from your perspective how your personal interests kind of benefit your kind of broader career goals and aspirations within the company itself. So I know that you do your own interests have kind of relevance to the job description that you have right now. And so you're able to really apply them to the here and now, but talking more along the lines of the future of you and being either an engineer at GE or at any other company, how has your personal interests kind of expanded? How has your perspective expanded? And if they haven't or have, what reason do you have for kind of explaining that?
Justin, are you looking for for them to answer it in a career development aspect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess, Kristen and Jordan, you know, you've explained your rotation. So now if you would like to share, and anyone else on the call, share what is the next path for your career growth once you complete the development program? What type of positions would you be able to pursue, and how are you able to grow within an organization?
Yeah, so I guess like the best part about the development program is like it shows you what you like and what you don't like. I don't like being a supervisor. I learned that pretty quickly. So like that kind of just like it, but off of program, like we have options in materials. We can be supervisors. There are job openings for that. Really, for us, the only limit is what jobs are there and like what are available. I'm lucky enough in that the team that I'm on right now is actually hiring. So I'm actually able to stay in the job I'm in now. But like going forward, it's, I guess the development program really just like, it tells you what you like and what you don't like. Mm-hmm. And that information, like I can take to, if I decide to leave GE, which I'm not planning to in the future, like anytime soon, I can use that knowledge and go look at other companies, and it allows me to look at like for those buzzwords. And I know what those buzzwords I'm looking for now. Does that make sense? Does that answer it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect response. I was thinking along the lines of kind of understanding, because I know that as a designer, a lot of people my age, I'm 26. I don't know if you are I don't know how old I am in comparison to anybody else here, but I know that my goals and aspirations are definitely built on growth and knowing that I can apply the skills that I learn when I start out to any other place that I go to. And so I'm trying to see how I can apply my interests and see where that takes me if I were to start working.
So I'm a big proponent.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Kristen, we're going to go ahead and move on to another participant. Justin, I'll follow up with you because it sounds like your questions are more maybe bridging between professional development, and that's something that I can assist you with. So let's go ahead to Judy LaFleur. Max, if you're able to turn on his or her mic so they can ask the question. And I hope I said your name right.
Hey everyone. I usually get the same pronunciation. I go by Mel, but it's Duty LaFleur. That's fine.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. So I actually wrote my question in a panel. I'm just gonna read it off for those who didn't see it. So I wanted some clarification on the rotation program because I think I'm getting mixed signals on what is which. So does applying for the full-time at GE automatically means entering the co-op or rotation program? And also, is the co-op and rotation program, are they interchangeable? Like, is okay, so I'm starting to get the answer. So I don't know, maybe if someone could give me like a clarification, as in giving a separation, between each of them, so that I may know like where I stand, because I feel like I'm mixing all of them together, if you know what I mean. And then I'll continue with the rest of the questions once I get this clarified.
Oh, no, I'm happy to answer your question. So you don't have to apply to a development program as an entry level, opportunity, but honestly, it's your best bet because they really pour into you. And as in a development program, you're seen as high potential. So they're really going to pour into you, and like, it's really going to take you to the next step. Pretty much everyone in leadership was in a development program at some point, including our CEO. He was an EEDP. So there's a lot of benefit, to hopping in a development program if you can. And then as far as being a co-op is concerned, a co-op is basically just an intern during the school year. So you work here and balance your work and your school schedule. And then an intern just interns in the summer.
So the co-op has nothing to do with the full-time position. It has to be before, right?
No, yeah, okay. You're usually a co-op while you're still in college. And like I said, it happens during the school year. Okay. But most of the time, as they've said, that after co-oping, you do get the opportunity to interview.
Okay. And the co-op. Oh, sorry, Bradley. And the co-op, now you can work. You could have the potential to work full-time hours. It just depends on your school schedule. So it just depends on the function you join and how many, what's your bandwidth when it comes to school.
Okay, so now that I've gotten some clarification on that, which is, I think I understand it very well now. So once I apply for a full-time, because obviously I applied for a full-time at GE. So once I applied should I expect to get an interview first before I even get into like applying for the rotation program?
So you apply right into the development program.
Oh.
Yeah, but we do have internships and co-op positions listed on our career site. And I don't know what grade level you are in school right now.
So I am a senior in mechanical engineering, and I graduated in May 2022. So I've applied to full-time positions at GE, and that's why I'm asking the question whether I go straight into the development program or I have to do co-op before or anything like that.
So you can apply directly into it if the position is available online. But depending on if you have previous internships or not, or industry experience, to make yourself competitive, you can also apply to be a co-op to gain industry experience.
Okay.
Yeah. So similar to what I had done is, so my school, I graduated from University of Illinois at Chicago. It doesn't actually have a co-op program per se. It does support like going out and like, what I did was I took a semester off of school to come down and work as a co-op full-time at GE. And that sort of helped me push me towards coming back as an Edison after I graduated.
That's awesome. And one last clarification I wanted to make. So I do have like certain experience in the industry with manufacturing, but I guess the last question I have is, would after applying for a full-time job, would the rotation, like once I get into the full-time job, I do the rotation, the development program, right?
Mel, you would have to apply and interview to get into the development program if the position is available online. So there's more than one path you can go into.
That's within the full-time, right? After applying for the full-time.
If there's a full-time position that you qualify for, you're more than welcome to apply to it. but you have to read those basic qualifications on the job description. And then there's the intern and co-op positions, and then there's some of the development program. So on the job title, it'll say development program or it'll say intern or co-op. And then like Kristen and Jordan, we're talking about there's advanced manufacturing engineers, area business leader type of opportunities. Those are some great entry-level positions for engineers that you can also find on the website. So I'll put my email in the chat for any of your follow-up questions, and you can just follow up directly with me, and we can navigate through the site together.
Yes, that would be awesome, because I don't want to take any much more of your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, thank you.
Let's go ahead to Keith Edmonds.
So I had a question for Jordan and Kristen and SCDP. So I was just going to ask, is if you do go with that program, is there any choice or variance of the rotations that you're placed into? Like as a process control and instrumentation engineer, would I have rotations that are based on that, or would it be, or do they intend to do rotations that show you all aspects of the job instead?
Yeah, so we have kind of a process with job selection, and there's a list. Leaders within the company will say, hey, I want an SCDP, and then they'll create this, a list will be creative of all of the opportunities, and then you put your preferences, and from your preferences, you get
assigned
a role. But yeah, like you have to meet like certain requirements. Like each job kind of falls under a different family. So like we have to have like a technical role, we have to have a supervisor role, we have to have a supply chain management role, and then we get a free one that we can do whatever we want. But yeah, like ours is pretty strictly organized. But I know there's some like Edison where you get to pick what you want. But yeah, are you looking for like controls? Because we also have another program that's Industry 4.0. That's something you can do after SCDP. That's another rotation program, but you go more into like controls rotations.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So next up, I'm sorry if I'm going to mispronounce your name, Harish, I believe. Is that how you say it? Oh, there you go. Hi. How do you say your name?
My name is Rishikesh, but you guys can call me Rishi. I know that's a mouthful. So this question was to Dalton. I'm currently a senior computer science student and was super interested in what you were doing, Dalton. You say you were interested in project management, which I kind of lean towards as well, because I have the soft skills and the technical skills as a CS major, like you, right, to speak the software developer's language. So I was just wondering, what's like the most exciting project you got to work on as a PM?
Absolutely. So you kind of have the same background as me. So the cool thing about the DLDP program is it does incorporate both your technical skills and your project management skills. Right. So working on the smart home solutions team, I was leading a digital goods project in which the project itself was building a new sales channel for digital products for our smart appliances. And so for that, I was leading for the project and requirements assignments for our technical developers. So I was the go-to resource on the skill sets we needed, getting those resources, leading meetings with those resources, and then developing out the timelines and plans and everything that encompasses creating a new sales channel like that. And then my current rotation on the DT fulfillment team, we use Oracle here. And so this current project, we're taking some out of the box capabilities that Oracle has. And I'm once again just leading meetings with these technical developers, troubleshooting these, getting these through our development pipelines, testing the issues and fixes that we lead out, and just getting these things to production. And on my end, it's more of how do you, like you said, speak to these developers, because you're going to get business requirements in from the business, and they may be high level or they may be out of the scope of what we can actually do technically. So then you have to take that and lead that to your technical developers and build out the requirements, kind of as I don't want to say middleman, but you're taking in from one direction and then have to
Working
convert that over
cross-functionally.
to how your technical developers are going to lead that through.
Very cool. So this is all like an agile environment, I'm assuming, where you're building out those user stories and logging in those tickets in Jira.
The Smart Home Solutions team is an agile-based team. The
Okay,
DT development team I'm on right now, we do waterfall. But both of them are kind of loose. Not an agile purist. I know that's something that people go hard on. So you're going to have some flexibility with some parts are going to be agile, some parts are going to be waterfall. It's kind of a hybrid mix. But I do as myself like agile. I'm hoping to become a Scrum Master here soon.
very cool. Thank you for answering my question. Also, one more quick one. Do you guys hire students on F1 for the DLDP? Like, do you accept international students? Like, whether it is requiring sponsorship or not, we still have those 3 years. So I know that's a more HR related question.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I can answer that one.
Yeah, I'll follow up. I know I got that question a lot this evening. So I'll follow up with you to answer that question, but we are going to go ahead and wrap. We're 5 minutes over for the event, but I do want to thank our wonderful panelists for coming tonight and offering their time. I know they're super busy and doing great work for the organization, so thank you. And thanks, Max, our wonderful host tonight, for helping us put on this event. And thanks to all the attendees who were able to join and still on the line. So thanks so much. Bye. Have a good night, everyone.